Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the TheCivShow podcast. We suck, so you don't have to. I'm your host, Moisauce.
Raising Zozo.
And it's Agnes here.
And we have actually a very exciting show for you today. Why? Because it is going to be a community day game this Sunday, and we're using this opportunity on this podcast to take the time to reveal who's playing, what civs will be in here as well, and talking just a little bit about what the format is for the community day. So Zoe, as the winner of last week, take it away.
All right, so I don't think any of us could have predicted that I would come away as the winner, as being the big underdog with that one. But thanks to not invoking democracy, I won. So the format that I selected is a 3-team free-for-all. Okay, so we're going to have 3 teams of 2, and this is going to be for our community this time.
There was so much argument with this.
I know. You know what though? I liked the conscription. I like that name. I think I'll go with that. Okay, in the future we'll call it conscription. Teams conscription. So we will have 3 teams, and each one of the hosts of the TheCivShow has conscripted a member of the community that is best seen and not heard. They will not be joining us on the actual chat portion, but they will be representing the other players as human AI, as I like to call them, human AI. And part of this draft would be that Moy would decide how we were going to draft from the community, and he did that. And Nystagmus was going to decide the map we chose. Now, I added to this conscription that, because I didn't want to leave it to chance to whoever got to choose the map, that we would be using all current game modes. So we will be playing in an apocalypse, secret societies, super shuffle, cluster bleep of fun. I'm pleased as punch. Is that do the kids still say that?
I have
no idea. They don't even know what punch is. Pleased as punch.
Like
pleased
the drink? Like punch?
Shut up. All right. Damn Zoomers.
What? That was a legitimate question. That's not fair. You can't just out me like that. What the hell?
But either way, so we have the map, I believe. Nystagmus, what map did you choose?
You don't remember, Zoe?
I did choose. I do remember. I'm trying to involve you.
I have selected Inland Sea.
Inland Sea. I've practiced some Inland Sea. Oh, it is actually legit a cool, interesting map. It doesn't have the wraparound, big body of water, tons of mountain, and you still have all the climates. So it is an interesting map. So very, very good. And of course, Moisauce has selected our drafting, or how we're going to choose, and we ended up doing a random draft.
Yeah, so we tweeted that out yesterday. We had everybody represented as a card. It was like 2 through 7 or something like that. And we randomly picked a card, and we got random people from the community. So should we reveal that now, or you should finish your format.
Let me finish the format. So part of this, okay. So the conscription is obviously we each have a team member that will be joining us now. To select our civs, I believe the term that we have discovered is called a snaking draft. I look at it as like the Catan draft. This is how you play Settlers of Catan. This is how
or fantasy sports.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It is
so
how you choose Settlers,
those who know Settlers of Catan, now it's very mainstream now. It's been on Big Bang Theory and all that. You guys want to watch us play that one time, Settlers of Catan?
Oh, I thought you meant Big Bang Theory. Oh my god, I rolled my eyes so hard. No. Okay.
So how the Catan draft works is, I being the winner of the game, I am team 1. So team 1 will draft a civ. We will choose a civ, and then team 2, represented by Moy, will choose a civ, and then Nystagmus will choose a civ and then choose another civ. So he gets to choose 2 civs for his team. It will then go back to Moy, who
who will then I will
course.
pick.
Of course.
I will pick. Once Nystagmus picks 2, I pick 1, and then Zoe will get the last pick there. We're gonna wait for him to come back on the call, however, to maybe finish up his point, or at least for him to pick who's first, because he's got first pick.
Oh, there is some disagreement in chat about how you pronounce Catan.
Catan.
It's pronounced Catan, not yes, Catan for Germany. God, Canadian pronunciation, it's nuts.
My God, I hate my Discord.
Okay, start over from snaking draft. You first.
Snaking draft. Okay, so I will choose first. Team 2 is Moy. Moy's team will choose a civ. Then Nystagmus will choose a civ and another civ. So they're going to get 2 civs. All right. It'll go back to Moy, who will hit the second civ for the team, and then back to myself for the final pick. And then those will represent the team. So I'll end up playing one and my partner another, and so on and so forth. So that is that. It seems complicated. It's not, though. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. With that said, why don't I open with telling you who's going to be.
Let's do it.
Okay, so this is what, season 2 are we calling this?
This is season 2.
Season 2. All right, so for your opening champion team 1, going into this, it will be none other than Raising Zozo and his old punching bag of a pal, Vector Cat, representing Team Zoe. Zoe and Vector Cat, Team 1. Yay, Vector Cat!
So for Team Moisauce, aka the new upcoming champions of season 2, they have a strong duo. Really looking forward to playing with this person in particular, and it is going to be the Shockstar, and I'm super excited. I'm so excited to play with him. We've been knocking down so many different ideas on who to play, who we think you guys are going to play, and how to counter it. Like we are going hardcore into this, and we are going guns blazing, no mercy. If you get eliminated within the first hour, too effing bad. We are coming for next. Yeah, baby.
Wow. You guys are super
Vicious.
serial about this. Huh?
Vicious.
Super serial. Oh, man.
Me and Vector Cat just hoping to have some fun. Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Whatever, man. You guys are not looking for fun. The fun team is my team. That's my team.
Team Fun?
Team
Scrappy
Fun.
Underdogs, the team Nystagmus here. I will be paired up with none other than Luminescent Ruby. Has won to draw the play with the fun host. I'm the fun host. Okay, so
All right, so this is how I'm going to select a civ.
All right, here we go.
Moy will then choose his Nystagmus 2, back to Moy, back to me. Okay, so we should have talked to our teams ahead of time so we have an idea of exactly what we want to do. All right, so I will open, gentlemen.
All right.
And I'm really excited about this civ because, especially if it is me that ends up playing it, because we're not going to tell you who's playing which one, because I've never actually played this civ before. But I do believe it is one of those really fun, awesome civs. And on this map in particular should be very useful because it's so far apart. So without further ado, Team Win. Team 1. They win
Okay.
one. Take your pick.
That's
Our
past,
first.
it's never going to happen again.
Our first pick is Gran Colombia.
I knew it.
Yes!
Yeah.
Cat, look at them! Look at these guys! Look at them!
100%. No. This goes right into our plan. We kind of expected that this would happen. We had a bunch of talks of how to directly counter Gran Colombia. I'll just say it right now. Sweden came to mind, but we opted out to not go for Sweden. So spoiler alert, it's not Sweden, but we thought about it because we 100% were like, Gran Colombia is going to be chosen. So the first team that is going to be representing Team New Win is Russia, baby. We're gonna go for
Ooh,
Russia.
Russia.
Oh yeah.
Interesting. Interesting. All right. All right. Good choice too, because I did notice like that there's a lot of tundra. There's a lot of ice.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was looking at that because you guys probably thought I was going to choose Canada, right?
Nope.
Right?
No,
Nope.
actually,
Not
I,
this time.
I did
Not
not
this
expect you
time.
to pick Grand Columbia, to be honest. I honestly expected you to come out the gate and pick either the Mali or Georgia, to be honest, because you're playing with Vector Cat.
That was a meme. I was just kidding.
You know
when I
what's
said
hilarious?
that.
You know, I'm not going to say anything. You know what? I'm going to say I'll make my comment after the fact because I don't want to throw off anybody's choices.
I predicted
Okay.
that combo, and
We-
they're probably like, "Oh shoot, he knew." So then they had to
You know what?
rechoose.
For the next one though, we should like take bets, you know, no, friendly bets, 14-cent bets on who you think that the community thinks we're going to pick.
That'd be good. Or
yeah.
we draft the Civ for the next person. So like I would draft Nystagmus's team, and Nystagmus would draft Zoe's team, and Zoe would draft my team.
Hey, if you
That'd be
win,
cool.
if you win, you can do that. You can totally do your wacky idea.
Okay. All right.
Absolutely. All you have to do, win. That's it. It's that
All right.
simple.
It's that simple. Why?
Or be on team win. That'll work too.
No, your team won. Your team in the past. Get out of here.
We're past, present, future.
There's no future tense for
So
win.
wait, Moy, I missed you. Who did you pick again?
Russia. I picked Russia.
Oh yeah, sorry, Russia. Yeah, my bad.
I
So
was kind
I
of
guess
rushing through that statement there. I'm sorry.
that leaves Team Fun. Team Fun. We have actually we ended up ranking 6 civs.
Damn. Okay.
Nice.
Just to be on the safe side. So our first pick is actually important for the new kind of update for August. So we'll be kind of doing that. So our first pick is going to be Scotland.
Yes. Oh, I'm so happy.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome.
Nice. Good call.
I played Scotland today.
Right.
More on that in the second part of
Especially
this
with the
episode.
new amenities.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's really cool.
Okay. And then
So
you gotta
Alright,
choose
it's
another
going to
one
be
now.
relevant. It's going to be relevant, and it's relevant also because of my video that's coming out this week, eventually, of the Better Know a Leader, which I do Robert the Bruce. So it's going to be relevant on 2 different levels. You can't beat how many relevant levels there are.
Just-
All right.
At least 2. At least 2.
So then, who are you picking as your second civilization? It's round 2 of the draft here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
round 2 of the
two.
draft.
Round
So
two.
No,
team
it's all
fun.
safe, right?
Team fun.
You, by the way, you did pick my, you did steal my number 1 pick, right? So
I 100%
Was it
knew.
me? I did.
Yeah, of course you
Zoe
did.
did, yeah.
I'm like, me and
Yeah.
Sharks was like, Nystagmus is gonna pick either Grand Columbia or Germany, and so here's his next pick. Here it comes.
Right? It's going to be Germany. Yes.
Oh.
Germany is picked. Yeah. So we are going with Scotland and Germany.
Scotland and Germany.
Interesting
It's gonna be-
combo. Interesting.
Yeah,
combo.
they can both handle their beer.
Yeah,
But
true.
Scotland's got the whiskey, so I'm basing this all on what people can drink. But we'll see. Whiskey and beer. All right. Or
Okay.
it's Scotland Scotch, I guess. Ireland is whiskey and Scotland is Scotch.
That sounds about right.
I think that's
I
right.
think that's why it's called Scotch, right?
Scotch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Technically, Scotch is whiskey made in
I know.
Scotland.
I know. It's like champagne is sparkling wine made in Champagne. I knew
But
that.
yes, we have
Yeah,
a
that's true, that's true.
very interesting dual team there.
Yeah,
but, like,
I'm trying to figure out like why you paired these together and like Scotland
So-
and Germany. Like, what?
I see it. I can see it. I can totally. But go ahead. Give unless you want to give your explanation after we choose our civs, so that we don't suddenly pivot
Okay, true.
because you
Okay,
revealed
well,
your secrets.
let's do that. But we'll start with you, Nystagmus. So for our team going to win pick, or second pick, is going to be, this was a huge debate and we changed this so many times. We're going to pick China as our second civilization.
Oh wow! I didn't
Yes.
see that coming. All right.
Who did you think? Who did you think was going to be that second choice then, if you didn't see that coming?
I put you on Japan.
Oh,
I thought
okay.
Japan was going to be your second pick.
They were up there
Um,
in the choices. They're up there.
Yeah. So all right, interesting. All right, China. So I have a theory of why you would have done that, and
I think I understand.
now that I have that theory, we'll have to do everything we can to stop you from that particular exploit. But we'll see. We'll see.
Okay.
I will have to tell you, in my head when I was trying to rank some of the civs that I want, I was really interested in how the samurai vampire combo would work. That would be pretty awesome.
Didn't even think about that. But let's let Zoe pick his second civilization here before we get into the weeds of why we picked what we picked a little bit.
Okay. So for team win one. Okay, team win one. Our second pick that everyone is curious about. Australia.
That's okay. Huh.
I think what I like about what just happened is I think that there was a lot of curveballs with the second pick. Like China, I think I know why you did that. I think I get why you did China.
Okay.
But and Scotland. Okay, I can sort of see Scotland. Germany, though, is obviously the lead strong suit. So I think all of us ended up taking like a primary that we thought, and then a secondary that we're like, whoa, that's not expected. What did you think I was going to do?
Grand Columbia I knew was going to be chosen, but
yeah,
your second pick, it was up in the air.
It's the S tier of S tier civs, right? Like,
so Australia, what weirds me out is that like Grand Columbia wants to be aggressive, whereas Australia doesn't. So like, how is that going to work out? Where like it's either going to be like you're going to bait people into declaring war with your team, or you're just going to wait essentially. But when Grand Columbia is active, they need to be active, and so that's where I'm kind of confused. Of like, maybe it's kind of like a protection until you get to industrial. Like Australia's like going to protect them. No one declare war on these guys until they get to the industrial. And then once they're at the industrial, then they can declare war, not even care, and then go over and take over the whole team. That's what I think is going to happen. That's my prediction.
Yeah, it sounds like a prediction. It definitely sounds, but I believe you're referring to that Australia likes having war declared on them.
Yes.
Right? Just like Scotland enjoys having war declared on them. They want the liberation. They want something conquered, right?
Yeah.
So Australia, though, and I think this is kind of why you chose China, is a remarkably productive civilization. They're one of the top tier production civs. Mm-hmm. Not to mention that they can get the food going too, so they can have some nice beefy cities that do very well on maps that might not have rivers and water everywhere, right?
So are we also going to reveal like which of our teammates is going to be playing who?
No, I don't need to. I don't think you need to. You can. Do you want to?
We can if you want. If you guys have already decided.
Yeah, we did.
Nystagmus was going to lead the way, though. I'm sorry. So now, Nystagmus, you've heard everything. Do you care explaining why you chose your civs?
So I know that you guys got like really into your like whole strategizing. And again, this is the fun team, right?
Okay.
Basically, Ruby and I just asked each other, what is your favorite 3 civs to play? And we ranked our 3 favorite civs in alternating orders between each other. Right? That's literally like the conversation that happened.
That's good. That's a good way to do it.
It is, but here's what goes through my brain.
Like a losing team.
Here's what goes through my brain picking Scotland and Germany. Germany wants to take over city-states. Scotland wants to defend city-states. I don't know how that's gonna work.
We all chose some somewhat counterintuitive choices, I would think, because China has a very specific time that they do well, and I know China very well.
Yeah, I know you know,
because I demonstrated how to play China to perfection. that foreknowledge, my friend, will be your downfall.
Maybe, but we have ideas of like what else we would have picked. You want I'll go through that. So we got to
In
China
reality,
last minute.
Yeah, in reality, that was our conversation. So we kind of had our 3 favorite civs, and I just did that so that no matter what, if you guys picked one that was ours, we would always no matter what, it would be, it would always end up that one that I picked and one that she picked was one of the ones that were picked, so that we would each get one of our favorite civs. That's basically why we set it up that way.
That's fair. Yeah.
Right. That way, it wasn't like, because I knew I would be making the decision on the spot, and that way, we both got a civ that we like playing, and that way we both have fun. That's the goal of the Civ Show.
That's true.
Fun.
That's true. I wouldn't pick a civ that I wouldn't want to play, though, for sure. So the other ones we had in mind, if we didn't get Russia, we were gonna go for Ethiopia. So that would have been our second choice. Before China, and China wasn't even in a ranked, like even in a top 5. Like they were not even there. What we had instead was our number 1 before was Macedonia. Our number 2 was Gorgo, and our number 3 was Japan. And that's where,
interesting.
But Hojo would have been good now that I think about it, because if we picked 2 civs that are immune to their own respective natural disaster, and we're playing apocalypse mode, that's pretty good. I didn't even think about that until you said it, and I was like, damn, too late now. So. How did you get to Grand Colombia and Australia? How did you get there?
Well, obviously, given that myself and Vector Cat, we have mass resources between the various communities that we represent outside of the TheCivShow. So we did some focus groups. We ran some simulations. Vector Cat does keep a quantum simulator computer in his Mac. It's like one of those various Mac apps. It tricks your computer into thinking it's a quantum computer, Dang.
It's a 1 and a 0 at the same time. How is that possible?
Yeah. Well, it creates all possible realities, and so we went through this method, and we decided that Gran Colombia was our number 1. We're going to lead with that, and that was 2-part, because in most of the universes that we collapsed and destroyed, they made Nystagmus cry when we chose it. So that was an important factor. And then the secondary factor being that Gran Colombia is just a fantastic civ. And since this map round, we're talking about faraway distances, it seemed to make sense that we go for some high maneuverability. And then, so we knew that our second pick wasn't going to get back around to us. We knew that was not going to happen, because our second pick was Germany. If we could have had, if we had Colombia and Germany, the beauty that we would have shown you. We would have shown you guys how Civ is played. Okay, but obviously that didn't happen. And it's interesting. Australia didn't become, it wasn't one of our opening second after Germany. After Germany originally was Japan, but then we got to talking and just looking at the situation, and we wanted high production. We wanted to go and have that there was the backing would be high production, and Australia has the advantage as well that maybe there's an early war, okay, but then maybe there's peace, and now we can plan and plot. And if you declare war, now I wasn't exactly sure with teams. If you declare war on one, I was assuming it triggered war with the other. So all of those things would trigger. So that gave us sort of a early war, late war. We could change places between who's going to be the jerk. And then given that we're doing the Inland Sea, if you look at the Inland Sea map, there are lots of tiles where there's either waters not nearby, or things like cattle are very prominent. Cattle and horse are very, very prominent. So those outback stations are going to become very, very useful. And Australia, just in general, is a very versatile civ.
Yeah, I like your combo. I like that combo.
Yeah,
Too good.
I think it'll work. It'll work really, really well. So Australia was our after Germany was our next up. Now, because we knew that there would be 5 other drafts after we chose, or 4 other drafts after we chose, we went and chose 6. So we went Germany, Australia was the next runner up, then Japan, then Hungary. Okay, so Hungary was up there, and that was acknowledging that city states on this map as well are pretty important, even though they're regional. But being able to suddenly levy an army, we thought would be really, really useful. On the spur, and then I think to Hungary's special unit, you get that around the same time that you get the Colombian special unit. So that was
true.
would have been a nice double strike.
Yeah.
And then our final gut, if everything got picked, we originally did Cree, and then I was like, well, they're not going to be making alliances with us. I don't think they're going to be making.
You can make
like
your own.
We can have an alliance,
Yeah.
but they're. So we dropped the Cree and we went with Ethiopia as our final. If for some reason you guys chose or otherwise, but I'm very pleased. We got our 3rd pick out, and I think we will show you guys how this game is played with Grand Colombia and Australia.
Okay. This is the first time that someone other than Nystagmus is playing Grand Colombia, so that'll be very interesting.
I know.
I know.
I think I played them 3 times.
You played them 3 times, and you won on the 3rd time.
Nystagmus, I've done a couple practice games with them, and they kind of remind me from Twilight Imperium. They kind of remind me of I think it's called the Sarnor, the bug guys that have a very simple bonus. Because in Twilight Imperium, in a best board game ever, it's super complicated. It'll take you a day to play. Best strategy board game ever. But I think it's called the Sardak Nor. They're this guy. They just got +1 to everything, and they're such a simple civ. And they're in that game they're great because they're so simple. And looking at Grand Colombia, they really reminded me of just how critical something as simple as a +1 to everything can really drive a civ option way up there. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, well, I think we all are looking forward to it. Let's take a little bit of a break. When we come back, we're going to be talking about our thoughts on the new August update and how you have to rethink amenities. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the TheCivShow podcast. We suck, so you don't have to. Let's talk about the new August update. There was a lot of changes that were introduced. Shuffle mode, new amenity system, Scotland having +2 amenities to their golf course. What is that? There's a lot to unpack in this update, and a lot of people have different opinions on this new update. Zoe, I know you're very eager to give your thoughts on the update, so please entertain us, educate us. If you
I sure am, Moy, and let me tell you why. No, this it's interesting because this was literally just like an update. It was like it kind of felt like just cleaning some things up and then adding modes that like it wasn't like with the previous two modes. It really changed all the game and like added things that were like with Apocalypse. These are new things, very, very crazy. With the secret societies, these are new things, new graphics, very, very crazy. With the shuffle, though, it seems like innovating the existing tech that they already have, the existing, when I say tech, I mean like programming that they already have in a really awesome way. And I think what I really liked about it, too, when you looked at the developers explain it, the one developer, he was basically saying, like, when I was younger, I played this great strategy game, and this is how it worked. So I decided if ever there was a time that I was in a, that would never happen because I don't know goddamn anything about computers. But if ever I was, the lead, I would be like, well, yeah, there's this game, StarCon 2, or, that I really like this feature. Let's do this. It'll put them through some hoops. The shuffle, at first it seemed like, okay, what's the big deal? Like, who cares? Like, okay, so you're shuffling it up. But it's so unpredictable.
Yeah, then you play it.
Oh, yeah, man. and it really makes it that because there's no such thing as the prerequisites anymore. It's just like randomly things will appear. So it could be that after researching your first Civic, for instance, that right away you unlock
political philosophy.
I think it takes two political philosophy. I think it might take 2 steps to get, but you can get it really, really quickly. Or it can be really, really annoying, and you'd be like, "Oh wow, I got all these, camps. Let's see if I can get Artemis." And it's like, "Nope, you're not getting archery. Sorry."
It does seem like it adds a lot of like more randomness.
Yeah.
Game,
so
right?
you can't beeline.
Even the prerequisites sometimes like. A prerequisite, there'll be a massive chokehold, and so like it'll be like you need to get all 6 of these techs in order to get this next one, and so it's like you can't skip, like you need to get every single one of them. It's crazy, but I love it.
Yeah, it is, and it is actually like it's so much fun that like I could see it like why would we turn this off in the future?
I honestly think that with the way the next game, I know we already talked about, but like I think Zoe set us up for a complete like it's gonna be like a dumpster fire kind of
dumpster fire
mainly
2.0.
because it's Apocalypse mode with secret societies and the shuffle mode, and no one's gonna be able to get computers probably in time, so everything's gonna flood. Now, good news is I'm the one who saved us from the dumpster fire because Inland Sea doesn't have a whole lot of flooded tiles.
Oh, the truth comes out. Oh, that makes sense now in hindsight. That makes sense.
The Stagmus actually learned something about the game.
You
the Stagmus
clever
learned something about the game, and I saved the game next Sunday. That's all you have to know.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. You know what? That's fine. Your little Inland Sea is not going to protect you from comets falling from the sky.
No.
Okay, those are 4 area tiles blown up, destroyed. But
but he's
work.
Team Fun, so he may
purposely
pollute the world to make the others have no fun, but he'll have a lot of fun. You never know.
Yeah.
Well, what would you guys do if I picked like Archipelago or something like that? Then everything would flood.
I half expected that, but now in hindsight, I'm like, okay, that was like if you chose that or like lakes, that would have been okay. So we don't have to worry at all about global warming. Okay, that's fine. All right, good, cool though. All right, you got one past me there, Stagnus. That's a good good response.
All right, what else? What else you got about this new update?
So okay, so the shuffle, very very cool, and I honestly think we will see more of that in the future.
I think so too.
It's a great leveler. It's a great leveler. It really does even the game out.
Yeah.
Okay, so the other big one that I think is actually really neat, and again, it's just such a simple thing to do. You've got all the programming there. Let's let you choose what natural wonders you can pick. Okay, and I'm actually thinking that we'll have a little fun on Sunday, and we'll let each team choose a couple that will be no matter what in there. So maybe we each get 3 or something like that.
That's not what it's not no matter what
it's not no matter what. So how? Okay. So here, let me
explain. Bias.
Yeah. So what it is it gives you the list of like 50 whatever natural wonders, and you can click off any of the ones that you want, and from the remaining list, it will draw from those randomly. Okay. So, but in theory, if say we turned off all but 2 each, we would, or 1 each or whatever's on a small map. I think there's 3 natural wonders on a small map. We would be guaranteed to see them. The funny thing is, though, on an inland sea map, Bermuda Triangle would be really stupid, but could actually, maybe you could reach it and get the 10 science.
Yeah,
maybe. So again, but it's a very simple feature, and I think what I liked most about it was whether the game, obviously the game doesn't know, it's choosing these natural wonders randomly. There's wonders I had never seen before.
Yeah.
Right. And then I'm like,
arch or like in the desert that I didn't know existed. Like
I've seen that one, but there are ones that like I'm like, oh, I've actually never seen this before, because I think there's like 50 or 60 natural wonders.
There's like 30 or 20, but
30. Okay. I like to exaggerate. Hyperbole is my thing. It's not 20. It's more than 20.
Hyperbole is your thing. Yeah.
30. Yeah.
40.
Sure.
I can say 35. Without hyperbole that this is a million times better than boxing. That's a Simpsons video game quote. But no, but there's also a lot of stupid natural wonders that are just like, this is garbage. This is a dumpster fire. And by the way, guys, all the dumpster fire, this is all for me to get the emoji. I don't want to do trash fire. I want a dumpster fire emoji. That's team wins next big goal.
I'll tell you what, if you win this, I'll make it for you. Okay, and I'll put it and I'll replace ding ding even in the Twitch chat, so all of our subscribers can have the dumpster fire emote.
You can't lose ding ding. How do we get more emojis?
We need more subscribers.
See, that's my goal. Okay. That's what I'm trying to do here, right?
So I'll put it in tier. I'll put it in the tier 2 slot. So you need to pay like $10 a month in order to get it. But if we unlock a new one, that'll be the next one. How about that?
Dumpster fire next in line. Okay.
Sure.
So yeah, this will be cool. I hope that we do have a little fun with it. We could probably even throw it out to the community if there's ones that they want to see, as opposed to one or even ones they want removed. And we'll make a nice tight list of cool natural wonders. So that is a neat feature. Do you guys have any thoughts on the natural wonder?
I honestly, it's like I'm sick of seeing the same ones pretty much over and over again, or even like the ones that I know are just absolutely useless. And I'm like, okay, I hate Cliffs of Dover. I hate this one. That one sucks. And so I picked ones that, one, I've never seen before, or 2, are actually useful. So
what's your favorite?
So I don't really have one, but in the game I just played, I had Chocolate Hills. And so Chocolate Hills is really good because you can just make a national park pretty much out of those tiles right away. So that was that one's one of my favorites. The only problem is that you can't upgrade those tiles, but
I like the Fountain of Youth.
That's a good one.
I think that's a cool one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Wait, so
Stagnance, you got to fit.
I know that you don't like you're always kind of like wondering about magic and stuff like that. What are your thoughts on the Fountain of Youth even being like in the game? Like, because
what?
I don't like hokey stuff, like how vampires and stuff like that. It's a bit hokey. It seems like magic.
Yeah.
The thing with the Fountain of Youth, though, is whether it's the Fountain of Youth or the Holy Grail or anything like that, like it is a. You're right. It is hokey, but it's something that like throughout history there have been these locations that supposedly will help you with your health and what have you. And we, you're a doctor, that there is power in the placebo, right? So things like that, like like I get it, like I get the fountain, and but you're right, it is one of the more, just like the Bermuda Triangle, these are the more hokey,
Like
magical
when you start adding, like, I always
teleportation.
wonder if you add like the Fountain of Youth and Bermuda Triangle, like what's stopping anyone from just saying, yeah, Atlantis? That's a natural wonder, like Atlantis.
Maybe they will. You never know.
Well, but it's like there are other natural wonders that they haven't done at all, like Niagara Falls,
Oh,
right?
if you take
Like,
it over, you get a death robot. That would be awesome because the Atlanteans were supposed to be like super advanced.
obviously, you would get a death robot if you took over Atlantis, like. And what it would be is because it's in the water, but it would be like it could only move like one tile every like 5 turns or something like that, and it would give, or per era it could only move once, and then of course it would come. But if you're gonna go that route, you might as well have the Kraken from
or just Stargate. You just find the Stargate.
Stargate.
Let's do but I mean they haven't done any waterfalls or anything like that. I think Niagara Falls should definitely be on there, and that would be one that like would be at first maybe it doesn't do anything particularly great, but then later on it might have like it generates electricity or something like that for a natural wonder. But yeah, they chose some. They did the last update was magical stuff, and Fountain of Youth is one of them.
Cool.
Okay, so here are my notes on the new update. This is going to be a little bit of a rant, but also a little bit of a change in mindset of how you should work amenities.
Ooh,
This is
a rare Moy rant.
Yeah, here we go.
I love a good Moyan.
Me, ow. Okay, here we go. Let me get my notes up. Okay, I hope that was a really good noise for you guys.
It was. It reminded me of the Necronomicon from the never mind. Go.
Okay.
Army of Darkness.
I've seen it. I watched it. I remember you recommended that to me.
Flapping. Oh god.
I watched it. That's the one.
You saw
movie.
it?
That's the one movie you recommended to me that I actually watched.
Did you like it?
I did like it. It was very cheesy, but it was funny and like entertaining.
There's still hope for us. There's still hope for us, Maury. There's still hope.
All right, so here we go. I'm gonna put this in the camera so you know I'm reading. Here they are. My patch notes. Okay, my patch notes. So
I believe you.
As you all know, they've changed the way amenities work. So amenities, -1 to +2 is content, which is just absolutely normal. +3 to +5, I think. +3 to +5 is happy, and then +5 onward is ecstatic. That's not right. +3 and +4 is happy. +5 onward is ecstatic. There we go.
+5.
You need to get
-1 is now content.
Yeah, you need to get +5 in order to get ecstatic, and it is hard. It is really hard to get +5 amenities. So there is a way where you can still do it, but it needs to be a primary focus of your game. Just like how if you want to get a science victory, you need to build a campus in almost every single one of your cities. Or if you're going for a culture victory, you need to build a lot of theater squares, so on and so forth. So now, entertainment districts. Now, they did before, but now they really help you with a culture victory. So, entertainment also provides you tourism. Entertainment complex also provides you an adjacency bonus to the theater square now. So, if you group cities together and you build multiple entertainment districts next to your theater squares, you can get easily +4 adjacency bonuses to each of your theater squares. Plus, you're getting your amenities from the entertainment complexes. The other things you need to worry about if you're really, really focusing on amenities is you can do religious stuff and you can do policy cards for your amenities. So even the I think it's called the audience chamber government thing. I could be wrong with this one, but it's the level 1 government plaza building that gives you +1 amenity and +3 housing if you have a governor inside of it. I think that's right.
I think it's audience chamber.
Yeah. So you kind of need to like combine all of these things and you can get your amenities up so you have that bonus for sure and no one else is going to have that bonus. So you're getting that plus food and plus production from having an ecstatic city. If you're Scotland, it's even more of a bonus. So this is actually who I did it with. I did it with Scotland, mainly because I wanted to test if you needed the golf courses. You didn't, but the golf courses definitely helped. So you have all of those. You can get it. Just really helps your culture victory is what I'm trying to get at. So if you want to go for culture victory now, there's 3 things you got to worry about: amenities, entertainment complexes, which is kind of go hand in hand, and then your regular culture. So it's just having the changes, they all work together, but it's just a little more complicated. Like getting a culture victory is just a little more complicated, but you can get it sooner now with these new changes, which is what I really like about it. So
and that they also like made building a entertainment complex worthwhile by having that synergy with the because you only need one, right? And then any adjacent theater square hex is going to get
but
getting
it's
that bonus.
It's to each entertainment complex. You can stack
Right.
that.
Right. Oh, sorry, it's the other way around. Right. Okay. So that makes, because entertainment complex is arguably the worst district ever made.
Yes. But now it's a little bit different because of, like, if you really want to focus on getting your tourism and your culture victory, that is the way to go now. Or like now amenities is a focus. You can't passively just get luxury resources and your cities are happy. Like, no, now they put a focus of like, okay, these are necessary. You need to build these entertainment complexes or water parks in at least a few of your cities to make sure your cities are not going to be unhappy. So they made it a requirement rather than a what am I getting at here? Like a luxury, or like oh, I can build a entertainment complex because I have to. My city is only is at -4, and I have to build one. No, now it's like you almost every city kind of needs one just to be content.
And that to me that's smart gamification. I don't that like they say what's not being used. How can we make this worthwhile? And that's what they did.
Exactly. And so I understand when people are frustrated, like, oh, I hate these changes because they suck. My cities are all unhappy. Yeah, you're unhappy because there's a new style of gameplay now that you're not adapting to. Instead, you're going back to the old ways, the ways that you know, the ways that you learned. This works. It always works. Why doesn't it work anymore? This game sucks. No. You're not adapting to the update. If you played a competitive game, if you played League of Legends, or you played Dota, or you played StarCraft, and you played the exact same way through every single update, you're no longer going to be good. So it's not the game's fault. They're trying to change the meta. You need to adapt to the meta, okay? And rant. Again, thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
And it's a good way for opposed to changing the AI, which would be a lot of work. These little things are ways to make the game more challenging without overhauling the entire AI. Because we've talked about how the AI gets predictable and stuff like that. Well, little things like modifying amenities and happiness, and now you've got. And I've had recent games where I'm like, oh my god, my cities are raging on me. Yeah. They're rioting because they made rioting easier, but I believe they lessened the effect of it, right? So I think now you only before it used to be you lost 60%. Yeah, you used to lose 60% of your productivity. Now it's only 40%, but it's easier to reach that.
Okay.
So it's very, very frustrating. And what can actually happen is you go into a recession where your economy becomes zero, or like I had this game negative, and I was like, like I was paralyzed. It's like I had like 10 turns in a row where I had a negative economy at zero because of how infuriated my citizens were. And it was really hard to get out of it. And it did add an interesting twist to the game.
I think it adds like an extra dimension, right? So before it was easier to keep people at least content. So you can almost pretty much ignore city happiness in some cases. Like it depends on the situation.
Exactly.
But right now you can't. Now in order to maintain production and productivity, you have to actually like watch it. Right. And then also it does the one thing I wonder what it will do is if it makes it more costly for war, possibly. Like war weariness will take a harder war weariness might take a harder toll on you.
But civs that don't get it.
Only Macedonia.
Which
is why we thought maybe we should pick Macedonia, but we didn't.
But yeah, so that now it's like something you have to keep an eye on, and it just adds like another dimension. I think that's pretty cool, and really it makes sense, right? Like you build cities and you don't build any. No one ever builds any entertainment complexes. Does that make any sense? Like every city has like a stadium or something, right? Like.
Not every city, but clearly the happy.
The only reason to build it is like I think I can get Colosseum before the computer or the opponent gets it. But otherwise,
so valuable now. It's
sure. It has always been one of the best wonders in the game, and now it is
so.
like much more so.
Yes.
In fact, like even like the Artemis one that I mentioned, the camp, every camp, I think it's every camp, plantation, and whatever gives you an amenity. That's a huge one now. Very annoying though, early game when you don't get archery because of the shuffle. Just quickly though, before we take community questions too, the other kind of little dumb change they made. Now, when you use your soothsayers, it adds to your CO2.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
and your CO2 will give you grievances for your diplomacy.
Yeah.
Now, luckily, it's temporary. Because like when I was like, what? I'm at -12. Where'd that come from? It went away. But now, when you use your soothsayers in apocalypse mode, you actually add to your CO2 level. I don't know if it always did that, and I just never noticed. I'm pretty sure that's a new thing.
No. That's been a thing since.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, ever since pollution
we
came
never,
out, that was a thing.
We never play apocalypse mode. So the soothsayer.
Oh, the sooth. Okay. No, you
The
lose.
soothsayer.
You lose diplomatic favor if you pollute. But the soothsayer giving pollution is new. Yes.
Oh, that's what I mean. So
Yes.
the soothsayer gives pollution. It adds to your CO2 rating. And luckily though, like it gives you. So today I had like a -12 to my diplomatic favor. It went away. It wasn't permanent, but I was like, holy crap! Like I went from like a +7 to like a -12 because I was using the soothsayer.
Yeah, I think that's to help deter even that great bath
Right.
exploit.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you can't do this because you're going to pollute the world like crazy. And if you want to pollute the world, then that's what you're doing. And plus the minus diplomatic favor. It's kind of like, if in the real world there were soothsayers and there were people who can create natural wonders, and you knew that this country, like Canada, like created this natural wonder to go into Europe. Yeah, that's a pretty shitty thing to do. And I would not like the country that did it. So that's kind of like their way of saying, like, whoever creates this natural disaster unneededly, you're going to get punished. So yes, I think that's a good. I like the change, and I understand the change.
I like that. Makes sense.
It also like before soothsayers were kind of free.
Yeah.
Right. Like you could just do stuff and without much consequence, and no one really knows who did it. It just was like a natural disaster. Now there's like an added cost, right? Like you want to keep being a jerk. Okay, fine. Well, being a jerk is kind of costly, and here's the cost. And so I think that's why they did it too, because I think at some point people were just spamming them.
Yeah.
Right. Like just spamming soothsayers, just causing natural disasters all over the place, especially in apocalypse mode.
Yeah.
So I think now there's
Van Bradley brings up a good point. They do cost a lot of faith, but there just needs to be more punishment, because faith, if you focus on faith, you can
but
easily.
I think they did it though is because now with the newer additions as well, faith is a lot easier to come by.
Very
true.
Yeah.
Right. And faith is like a new currency now, right? Like that people are using. And so I think that's the reason why they want to, and maybe it's a balance thing, saying like kind of foreseeing like, okay, now that it's easier to produce a lot of faith, people are going to start spamming these things. And I think that's why. Yeah.
Maybe. All right, let's take our last break here, and then when we come back, we're going to be taking community questions from the chat, as well as we have some prepared just in case from the community as well that we collected from Twitter, as well as our Discord. So don't go anywhere, because us three, as in we, are going to be right back.
Team win. threw me off.
Welcome back to the TheCivShow podcast. We suck so you don't have to. This is the time where we are going to take community questions and answer them for you. They could be completely ridiculous. They can be advice questions if you need some life advice. Hey, we're looking to give life advice. We're three older dudes. Why not, right? We've been through life. Let's go through it. Let's do it, baby.
I love that Moy thinks himself as an older dude.
I'm an older dude. Hey, in this Twitch community, I am an older dude. Okay,
I love it. I love
100%. I am 26 years old, and that
if
is older than this community.
I'm ancient.
You are ancient. That's not news to anybody.
So what
yeah,
does
I got these
these
white streaks here. Okay.
What does that make me then?
You're mid-ancient.
Yeah.
Middle ancient. Yeah, middle ancient.
So if you have a question in the chat, feel free to post it. We will, if we have time at the end, we will get to your question. Let's start with the first question. I'm gonna role play here real quick, okay? I'm gonna role play Vector Cat because this is his question. Forgive me, I have fallen deeply in love with Owls of Minerva. I think their being added to the game makes city-states much more important to every WinCon. So that being said, which leader do you think currently has the most powerful synergy with a city-state? Owls, based play spec. That was a weird wording, but sorry. Matthias, Ditto, Rough Rider Teddy, Tamar, or Coupe, or any of your choice.
I have to say, I am still having some post-traumatic stress from when Zoe played Rough Rider Teddy, and when we declared war on him, all 26 city-states declared war on us too.
That was beautiful.
That was
beautiful.
Traumatizing.
I do have a bias of saying that Rough Rider Teddy is kind of overpowered in that respect when they get paired up with owls. But that's just me.
I 100% agree with you. That was like when you looked at the city-state screen and you see, okay, normally, let me paint the picture for you here. I want to Bob Ross this real quick. When you normally look at the city-state screen, and there's like a combo mix of like this person's a suzerain of that, this person's a suzerain of that. There's like a good mixture of everything, okay? And they're reasonable. Sometimes they get a little bit ridiculous with like 15 or something like that. Like, wow, that's a lot. Okay, I'm not gonna put points in that. 15, whatever. I'm gonna put this points in this 3 over here. Then you have Rough Rider Teddy playing the freaking Owls of Minerva. And you look at that city-state screen, especially on that game, and you see on literally, I'm not exaggerating, literally every single city-state with 30 plus envoys, and you have maybe 5 in your highest one, shit changes your thoughts, man. You don't know what's real anymore. It was traumatizing. It was terrible. I agree with you, Nostalgia. It was Rough Rider Teddy, 100%.
Because then you also can get that policy card where you get gold for every envoy you have, and then just based on that you make like all the gold. You get all of the gold. There's no gold left for anyone else. Just you get all the gold. And so I don't know. I have a high bias when it comes to that particular relationship in the game, where I'm like, nope, it's Rough Rider Teddy. I don't know. I need something else needs to happen for me to change my mind on that.
I'm with you. Don't worry. What are your? I'm curious what your thought is though. So.
Yeah. Well, obviously, Rough Rider Teddy's only weakness is that you can kill the city-states. If you do that, then it'll all fall apart. I like the choices that Vector. By the way, Vector Cat and I think we thought that you guys would think that we would choose like Mali and Tamar, Mali and Georgia as our choices. Obviously, that's not where we went. I like that he chose Dido in there though as one of the examples. I could actually see even Japan, like anyone who gets a discount on harbors. So that you can build both the harbor and the commercial center. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Rough Rider Teddy is the best. I thought Mali did phenomenal with them. Obviously, Mali wants gold, so that's an encouraging thing to be able to do that. I think the Kree have perhaps they might because especially like early on you do short trade routes. which will end quickly, right? And you're getting that extra territory, and then every new trade route, you're getting in even more territory. That can be really helpful. So I would put the Kree up there. I still think Alza Minerva and Canada would be fantastic because you can't just surprise attack them. So that gives their caravans a bit of protection. And Canada's just great.
Okay, those are
not biased in that assessment.
Yeah, I don't know how Canada got thrown in there, but okay.
Always Canada.
You
tell me the secret society, I'll tell you how Canada's the best for that secret society.
Who are you gonna blame? You're gonna blame Canada, right? You blame Canada. You blame Canada.
Blame Canada. But honestly, the owls are just so versatile, and even if you're going for like a military state, just the extra gold that you're getting from them. The only one that I'd say like maybe doesn't want them would be maybe Germany, and that's just because it's in Germany's best interest to conquer city-states.
Yeah, or even like anyone that really wants to conquer city-states. But yeah, Germany especially.
But you don't even need them. 2 extra policy cards? Come on. Like that's two super wonders.
In the trade routes, right? You don't need the trade route. You don't need to trade the city-state. Right.
There's enough bonuses for the owls. Yeah, there's enough bonuses for the owls for you to like take them even without the bonus to the city-states.
Yeah, that's very true. It's just like a little throw it in there. It's like Gran Colombia. They have so much going for them that if you take one thing away, they're still really good. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
S tier secret society right there. Next question comes from our good buddy Zealous Zam. He asks, which leader would win the Olympic gold medal for table tennis?
I am seriously going to have to go with Rough Rider Teddy as well.
Really? Are you serious?
Yeah.
When has there ever been an American that was good at ping pong? Huh?
Forrest Gump. No.
What are you talking about? He can run a marathon.
China was second place there, right? So
I'm just saying rough. It's kind of like a history thing. Like Rough Rider, Theodore Roosevelt was very big on like outdoorsy, active lifestyle kind of. That's the reason why I put that behind that.
Everyone knows table tennis is as outdoor as you can get.
Athletic. It's hey, it's athletic, man. Like you can't don't take that. And also there's also like a meme that Rough Rider Teddy is like good at everything. Like what was said in the chat, like the Sharks has said, like he's good at everything. That you just choose him no matter what.
Okay. I picked Tamar. Why? Because she never sleeps. She just waits. She waits for you. Okay.
Chuck Norris, the table.
It's clearly Persepolis of the Greeks. Okay, obviously. Next question.
What? Can you give a reason?
No, I'm not. I'm not going to give you a reason. Okay, it's ancient Greeks. Figure it out.
Figure it out. Yeah, I got nothing. Tamar, though, 100%. She sets up a wall, and then what are you doing? You're playing against the wall. Guess who wins? 100% of the time.
Like that logic, it should be like the Aztecs because they played like with heads or something.
That's true. If they lost, they died. So they have extra.
At least I didn't come out here and say like Wilfrid Laurier would be good at table tennis or something like that.
Get the hell out of here with this Canada crap, okay?
Little do you know that Wilfrid Laurier is a professional table tennis player. Is how he won the election in 1903.
Tabernacle.
Okay. Whoa. Language. This is a G-rated show, folks. Get your fucking language set. I'm gonna bleep that out. Don't worry.
Oh man.
Okay.
The next question is just as relevant, apparently.
Super relevant.
Okay. This comes from Nile Matodal. I hope I didn't mispronounce that name. From Nile Matodal. Not counting themselves. Who knows the most people named Lorenzo?
So, funny thing about this question, or funny thing about our family, actually. So, in some families in southern Italy, it's family tradition to name your firstborn son after your father. So, our family decided to be like, we're just gonna do that for like everybody. And so there's actually like 6 people in our family named Lorenzo, I think.
There is Lorenzo. Here they are both here. Lorenzo, our grandfather. My brother's middle name is Lawrence, which is the British way of saying Lorenzo.
Okay,
They come from the same derivative. What other Renzos we got? You said 6. You give me another one.
No.
I said no. Our grandfather.
They don't even know their own family.
We know.
There's so many Lorenzos, they can't even count.
We know. And then I have
the best way I can describe it is, anyone ever seen the movie Big Fat Greek Wedding?
Yeah.
When he was like, okay, so that's Nicky, Nico, Nicky, Nico. That's basically our family. Except just like it's versions of Lorenzo, basically.
Now I have actually gone out of my way, and on like Facebook, I've gotten to know other Lorenzo Somas that are out there, because there are other Somas.
They seek us out, right? Like we seek each other out.
And even on LinkedIn, so I could probably say 9, but like that I know well, I would be like 5. Yeah, 5, and like that's. If Lawrence counts as Lorenzo, then many more, because I know a bunch of.
I was Lawrence for the first like couple months. I was after I was born.
Lawrence.
Oh really?
English way of saying Lorenzo. That's the British Lorenzo.
I kind of feel like there's possibly an argument between my parents about that, and someone won that argument.
Probably Zio Nick.
So we're gonna
next question.
Let's.
How many you know, Moy?
How many do I know? I know you two. I guess I do know a Lawrence. I used to work with a Lawrence, and that's literally all I know. I don't even think I know more than 5 people with any particular name. So like I don't even know like 5 Michaels, or like I know. Actually, no, I think that's a lie. There are a lot of Michaels in my school and like high school. Okay, I probably know 5 Michaels. That's as much as I got. That's all I got.
When I got married in my bridal party for my groomsmen, so I had like 6 groomsmen, and there's only 2 names between them.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
My brother, and then I have my brother, and I had like 2 other friends named Chris, so they're all named Chris, and then I had 3 friends named Andre, and they were all in my bridal party. So literally, it was like just there's Chris, Andre. That's basically my bridal party.
Yeah, I like this comment from the chat. That's from Sharksta. You guys are basically the International House of Lorenzos, the I Hall. You guys call you the I Hall.
The I Hall. Welcome to I Hall.
Welcome to I Hall.
Gotta, once we lose the Moy, like we'll be unless Moy legally changes his name.
I would never.
House of Lorenzo.
Do that.
The Owls of Lorenzo.
Nice. The Owls of Lorenzo. I like that. The Owls of Lorenzo.
You guys make me sick. Do you want to do another question? One more? We'll do
one more. Make it a good one, though. Make it a good one.
Make it a good one. Make it a good one, he says.
Not that all these weren't fantastic.
I feel like I want to save some of these, because I feel like some of them need to be thought about. Like, you need to think about for about like a little while to get a really good answer out of it. So I'm going to save some of these. Okay. What is the worst way to lose the game? That's all it is.
I got this one, guys. The worst way to lose the game is to Moy. It's the worst way to lose the game.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
When you're playing a game that goes to score, and you get like 5 or 6 wonders taken from you.
Every game. Every game. Oh.
That's a pretty bad way to lose too, I think.
It's a sad reality. Okay, but seriously though, the way that I hate losing the game the most is to religious victory.
Really?
Yeah, because I find religious victory, it can sneak up on you, and there are times where you're powerless to stop it.
When are you ever powerless? If you're powerless to stop religious victory,
if you're Canada, you might be powerless to stop it.
Once it happened, you gotta denounce them.
Now the funny thing is, I've played civs like Sweden, where they don't go. Sweden generally shouldn't go for religion. Like if you get religion as Sweden, you either the opponent's doing something wrong. No, there's almost no reason. There's no. Okay, I'll that'll be a future fight.
Okay.
But I don't think. What I like about it is you allow everyone else to have your territory as a battleground
So the
for
Congo,
religion.
you're basically being a Congo 2.0.
There are certain civs that do not need religion. It doesn't. You're not going to bother wasting time on a holy site.
I know.
You're not going to be caring about faith. I think Sweden's one of those civs. They don't need faith. If you're wasting time on faith, that is something that could have been a campus or better. But religion is annoying.
They're cotton.
It's annoying to lose.
See if it works out for you. I don't know if you'll ever play Sweden.
I kind of think like losing a diplomatic.
Yeah, that sucks.
It kind of sucks. Right?
But you
like,
see that coming.
You
see that coming. Like you can, I don't know. Religions can,
which is why it sucks when you lose.
Yeah, fair enough. Like religion, at least you can do things to get rid of the religion. Diplomatic, other than the one that lowers it by 2, you see it coming. It's accumulating. Those that are achieving diplomatic victory are not going for conquest. So the greatest way to go about that is to conquer them. Problem with religious victory, you can conquer somebody and then lose because now that civilization has been removed from play. Now the person with and I've had the games like this where I will conquer somebody's city, Civ City, and then I lose to a religious victory because now that they're removed from the game, over 50% of the population of civilizations that are in the game are that faith.
Oh, that's funny.
That's why
I hate religious
victory. Except for one city, you got to take them over for one, like
sure, yeah. In hindsight, I shouldn't have conquered that capital. But yeah, especially in a smaller game, it's a little harder, obviously, in a larger game. But also, we all know, like, if you're playing the computer, they have insane amount of faith.
I know this is kind of off topic. I always wonder if they're gonna maybe try to add in an economic victory of some kind.
Yeah, that'd be
There's
cool.
rumors. There's rumors that the community wants it. But how would you define an economic victory? Would it be an accumulation of your cumulative total gold, or is it have 1 million in your stockpile at one given moment, and that's how you win?
How I would do it if I was Civ developers tuning in the TheCivShow, and obviously they're smart because they are, because we've given some good comments and then they turn them into things, diplomatic center was an example. Anyways, what I would say is there are projects that can be purchased, but the purchase amount is like 10,000 gold. So you have to get up to that point. I don't think it should be like Civ Revolution. In Civ Revolution, you had to get to because I played all versions of Civ, my friends, from Civ 1 forward, even colonization. Civ Revolution, though, you just had to accumulate 10,000 gold, I think.
This may not be like a Civ 6 thing, but it would be cool if they added another aspect of the game, like corporations, and that was playing into the economic victory.
Yeah, if they do corporations, but my fear with corporations was that in Civ 4 they were just a twist on religion, basically. Like you're saying now you have, and I don't like that connotation personally. It's not, although I can tell you that we know from neuroscience that when your brain looks at a Nike symbol, the same part of the brain that activates when a Christian looks at the cross, it's the same part of the brain that goes off.
Really?
Which is kind of scary. Yeah. So that aside, I don't like the comparison. But yes, I could see that. But yeah, I would rather see you're buying ticket items. That it's you have to get 7 of these, and each one of them gets more expensive. So
yeah,
and then you have to remember with all victory conditions, there has to be a way to stop it.
And there's a progress meter of
there'd be progress as you go. So you have to buy this, and then you buy this, and then you buy this.
Yeah.
Because really, what you're talking about with an economic victory, in my opinion, isn't just accumulating money. It is essentially getting the population to surrender to the economic system and just be like, okay, we give in to the economic, even as sad as that is. If you look at all the different ways to win Civ, they're all basically, well, let's give into a world government. It's one faith unites the world. There's only one empire that controls the world. It's one empire that gets to the next star system. They win.
Okay.
So I'd want to see something almost like you coerce people to be like, you know, let's have one economy.
So hear me out on this one. So let's say that like you have it's similar to a spaceport. You can build a. I know this is a building in the economic hub, but you build a stock exchange. So now
Right.
like your like you know how there's like the TSX for the Toronto Stock Exchange or the NYSE, the New York Stock Exchange, but there's even like the Japan one and the Chinese one. So like that exists. There are like uniquely nationwide stock exchanges, right? So like you build a
Right.
stock exchange, great. So now let's say that your civilization has a bond price, and there are
Right.
certain ways that you can make your bond price go up by maybe establishing new
Right.
trade routes, having a trade route with each civilization, or
You know what
buying
would
your
be
stock price. Maybe if that would be one of them. Go ahead.
you know what'd be really cool is how if the game measured how much you dominate international trade by how many people want to
Right.
trade
That's
with
when
you, and how much gold
When
you're
Moy
worth.
was saying that. That's sort of what I was thinking too. Or like that like yeah, your currency becomes the number one currency. You know, that might be a way to do. Like I honestly, before we see Civ 7 Nystagmus, I would love if they added economic victory. It has been a victory condition in past games, and currency would probably be a cool way to do it. Or even if it was the stock exchange got so big that you had a world stock exchange, you know, that could be an interesting aspect as well. It just has to be distinctly different from like science victory. What you're really saying with science victory is a production victory, right? That's what it comes down to.
That's exactly it. Yeah, it's production victory.
So there are countermeasures to that. You can use sabotage and conquer cities, or just build better. So that's always the thing, is how would you countermeasure the economic victory? But like what was just described, that sounds like a great way to do it. I have stock exchange, you have a stock exchange, we're vying, call that what you want. I just hope they don't do like the Civ 4 corporations was neat, but Nystagmus, I think you'd agree that like corporations essentially were
Religions,
right? Yeah.
So let's wrap up here. If you guys want to follow us on any social media, we're on all of them. You can find us on Twitter. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Spotify. Hopefully you're listening to this on Spotify right now. Follow us all social medias at TheCivShow.
If you're looking for the more intimate connection, join us on our Discord. Our Discord community is growing, and it is actually just a thrilling, awesome, engaging community. Lots of fantastic Civ fans out there, and we always have great conversations week to week. I always love looking after like a day of being out of it and having to catch up on 112 messages. But join us on our Discord. It's one of the best ways to interact with the hosts and this amazing community that has come around this show of ours.
Okay. And always you can check out also our YouTube channel where other content is being created. So like I said, if people may know, I make a video series called Better Know a Leader. I've already done 2. So I've done Wilford Laurier and Coupe. Check it out. The next one is going to be coming out in the next few days. I'm doing Robert the Bruce of Scotland for that one, which is very I like how it's coming together.
I'm excited how you've described it. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but it sounds great.
And so that's how the next video is coming on. Also, the other creators, the hosts of the Civ Show, make videos on YouTube. Moy does one as well. In fact, he has the second most popular video on our YouTube channel right now when he compares humankind to civilization. So check it out. It's a really good video. I like it a lot.
I might make a video one day. We'll see.
All right, everybody. Are y'all ready to end the podcast today?
I'm ready to end the pod. This was great. I'm so excited for Sunday. When me and Vector Cat stomp over your smoked corpses and smile down at you and say good game, we're looking forward to that. And this would be great.
I was gonna
smoking corpses.
I got nothing. I was gonna say like, yeah, I'll see you in hell, but like then you're looking down on us.
You're smoking, and it works.
Win or lose, my team will have fun.
Ah, damn you, Nystagmus! Ah, my new nemesis, Ruby.
So I'm supposed to read this in Vector Cat's voice because he wanted me to.
Okay.
we will see you guys in the next one. Okay? See y'all later. Okay.
Good
Goodbye.
night.
Night.